Hey everyone, David Coe with the Coe Real Estate Group. Hey, this Thanksgiving week, we all have so much to be thankful for. And one of the things that I'm most thankful for is that we started our home ownership journey many moons ago. Right after we got married, actually, my wife and I moved to Georgia in Atlanta. That's where we bought our first home. And that started our process of home ownership, which has been a key part of us growing our net wealth over time. So today we're going to go over the 7 reasons why it's a great reason to buy a home, and including a little bitty extra, we're going to talk about the value of owning versus renting and a tool that we have that might be a benefit to you. All right, so let's get started. One of the first positive reasons to own a home is appreciation. When you own a home every single year, mostly out of the last 72 years, there have only been 6 years where we've had negative appreciation, and most of those came in 2009, 2010, and 2011, after the Great Recession. But for the most part, home prices have grown on average about 5 to 7%. Depending on which state you live in. Here in California, our average has been 6% year over year since the early 40s. And that appreciation is just wealth that you get every single year, right? As your home is worth more and more, your net wealth is growing more and more, and that appreciation gives you wealth that you can utilize over time. The second reason is equity. That's exactly what your appreciation gives you. It's one of the key pieces of your appreciation formula. Of your equity formula is appreciation. But the other part is your debt buy down, right? So every month when you make a mortgage payment, a percentage of that mortgage payment is going down to the value of your loan. And if the value of your loan is going down and your appreciation is going up, then theoretically every single month you're getting more and more equity in your home, which is also helping to build your net wealth. If you don't own and you're renting, you are never getting any equity, you're never getting any appreciation. All of that's going to your landlord instead of to you. The third reason is tax benefits. When you own a home, a certain percentage of how much mortgage mortgage interest you pay for is tax deductible. If you happen to use your home as a home office, you can write off some of that expenses. Some of the expenses when you purchase a home are also tax deductible expenses. And then when you really get more serious into owning real estate and you start investing in real estate, well, that's where the tax benefits kind of take off through the roof. But, one of the values of owning a home is there are tax benefits that you can use, which again, just become amplified if you start investing in real estate. The next is savings, right? You could almost look at equity as this little secret little savings account you have in your home every single year, right? More and more money that is illiquid unless you somehow tap it through a home equity line or refinance. But most people have a hard time physically putting money into a savings account every single month. Well, when you own a home, you're kind of doing that automatically. The market is giving you appreciation most of the time. And then every single month when you make a mortgage payment, you're also buying down some of your debt, which is again increasing the amount of money you have in your savings account. The next is predictability, right? When you are renting a home, you never know when a rent increase may be coming. You never know when your landlord may decide to sell the property. They may decide to move back into the property, and you're in an unpredictable environment. When you own a home, that becomes very predictable. Once you set a mortgage rate, unless you refinance it or unless you are in some kind of adjustable rate mortgage, that payment is predictable for the life of that mortgage until you pay off that loan. Now, there might be other costs that go up year over year. Insurance costs have been going up, property taxes go up, but the actual amount that you spend, the majority of your expenses on owning a home is from the mortgage payment, and that is a predictable amount that you can pay month over month, year over year when you're a homeowner versus when you're a renter. And then you also get freedom, right? You have the right to do whatever you want to do to your house. If you want to paint the walls a different color, if you want to add on to the home, if you want to change the landscaping, you pretty much have free reign to do whatever you want to do on your home. Now, if you live in a condo, you do have an association, and there might be some limitations on the amount of freedom that you have. But when you own a home versus renting a home, you do get the ability to kind of customize that property to fit your needs versus, having to maintain whatever that property is, the way the landlord set it up. And then lastly, you get stability. When you live in a home, you hopefully are anchored into a neighborhood. You form friendships and you form neighbors. And, for us, we've been in our home for a very long time. Some of our greatest friends are our neighbors. Our kids' best friends are people that they grew up with when they were kids as well. The school system, it anchored it into a school system that we really liked. And besides getting a great education, both our kids and us made these incredible friendships through the school. When you own a home, it gives you a chance to kind of set some roots down. Versus if you're renting and all of a sudden your rent increases astronomically, or if your landlord decides that he wants to sell the property, you might have to uproot yourself, your family, move into another community, kind of start all over again. So that's one of the key values of owning a home that most people don't think about, is the ability to kind of create some roots and create some stability in your life. Okay, now for our own versus rent. This is something that we just put together for one of our potential buyers from one of our new construction communities. And it's basically looking at the price of buying a home versus renting a home. This particular couple was spending about $5,000 a month in rent, and the price of one of our homes was $949,000. They could put about 10% down, and we're looking right now at rates at about 7%. When you include some other expenses in here, the cost per month of buying a home was going to be roughly $6,800 a month, versus when they were renting a home that was about $5,000, a little under $5,100 a month. But when you go down here and look at the projections that you get in equity, you look at the appreciation you're going to get, the loan buy down, what that home would be worth in 10 years, which this particular scenario is run over 10 years. Assuming that you took all of that difference, which, right now in this own versus rent scenario, it was about $1,700 a month in difference of purchasing a home versus owning a home. Well, if you were to take that $1,700 a month and invest it versus putting it in a home, there was about a 7% annual return that was better towards owning a home than towards renting a home. Now, look, if you're some incredible investor and you're getting 10, 15, 20% on your money, you might be able to make an argument that renting a home is better for you. You'll take that difference and you'll invest it. And if that's your situation, good for you. You might have a better reason to rent versus owning. But for most people, A, they wouldn't have the discipline of investing that extra money, and B, getting a 7% return is a pretty strong return even in today's market. And this doesn't even take into account the fact that there are tax benefits you get from owning a home that you wouldn't get necessarily from renting a home. So if anyone out there would want to see some kind of comparison for themselves, this is a tool that we can either put together for you, or more importantly, we can send you this sheet, teach you how to use it, and you can look at different scenarios on your own. So are you ready to own yet? I hope you are. And if yourself or maybe someone in your world is spending more than $4,000 a month on rent, they should really take a hard look at owning a home versus renting a home. Trust me, in the long run, it's something you'll be very thankful for 10, 15, 20 years down the line when you've been owning a home versus renting a home. So David Coe with the Coe Real Estate Group. I hope this information was helpful to you. And if there's any questions you have, please let myself, someone from the team know. We'd love to sit down and talk about your real estate needs. Talk to you soon.